lesson. We're getting towards the end of the actual painting of the cupcake, but I'm just going to start putting in those little sprinkly details on the top. So I've used a wet brush and I'm just dotting in those passions because I'm going to add some salt to that and let it dry, and then I'm going to come back later and add some really dark kind of shadows to that to show that it's a speckle of sprinkles that have been added on top. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to think about adding a bit of a shadow to my background. Now, this can be a little bit tricky, so you have to be careful. I've wet the background first of all with a wet brush, and what I'm going to try and do is to show a shadow coming in on that side, and I've used a bit of blue to show this shadow. I'm never going to use black, I'm only ever going to use a blue, and I've just got a bit of that, and I have made it into a kind of oval shape, like an elongated egg, and I've let the darker parts of the shadow close to the bottom of the cupcake, and then I'm just spreading it out, and it's getting lighter and lighter as it comes away from the edges of the cupcake and down to the edges of the oval sort of shape. Then I'm going to just fill in a little bit of pink and add some pink to that side. Now, I'm really doing it so lightly because I want to fill in a background around my cupcake, but I know that my background has to be just that, a background. And backgrounds in paintings are there to actually enhance the subject of the painting, which in this case is the cupcake. So I want to just give it something that's going to enhance it, and I've done a little line, a little horizontal line there, because what I want to do is try and make it look like it's sitting on a table. So all the while I'm really using lots and lots and lots of water because I want to just make my background really, really pale. I want it to have some variations. I don't want it to just be like a flat painted wall behind the cupcake. I want it to look like air and space. And you know, air and space, if you imagine it, it's got to be semi-transparent. Air has no weight to it. We don't want it to be solid and heavy and dark. We want it to be very airy and spacey looking. So you do that by making sure there's lots of variations in your shadows and making